welcome to our 2022 goal setting video with PowerSheets. If you're new, hello, my name is Sheila. If you're not new, welcome back, friends. Are you excited? I'm excited. Can we just all express how excited we are for PowerSheets goal setting 2022? All the feelings. I am reveling in the new year, new me vibe. If you are not subscribed, make sure to hit the subscribe button because I do monthly planning videos with PowerSheets where I take you through my tending list and how I set my monthly goals. And I also do a mid-month check-in at the middle of every month where we do kind of an accountability check and I share how my goals are going. So if you're interested in goal setting, planning videos with a little bookish and work content on the side, I'd love to have you join our community. With that said, if you are new to PowerSheets, have never heard of PowerSheets, I do have a video where I unbox and walk through the 2022 goal setting PowerSheets planner, and I will link that below in the cards wherever. And I'll also just say that PowerSheets is basically a goal setting system process, and I like to think of the book itself, this thing, as a planner slash workbook. So it helps you create meaningful yearly goals, and then it also helps you create monthly goals that kind of go off of your yearly goals. So really we focus on intentional goal setting, meaningful goals, and little by little progress. And I've been using PowerSheets for 4 or 5 years now. I've lost count and it always works for me every year. I made such good progress on my goals last year. I also have a whole playlist dedicated to all of my 2021 goal setting and monthly goal setting videos. So I will also link that down below if you want to go binge and see my progress last year. All right, let's dive into the video, friends. I will start by saying that I did break this video into 2 parts, and I also have timestamps down below if you want to skip ahead, because there is a whole process called prep work within PowerSheets that I'm going to walk you through, which is essentially part 1, and then part 2 I will share my goals and kind of the thinking behind it and my action plan to achieve those goals. So if you just want to skip ahead and see what my goals are, if you're looking for inspiration for your own goals, I'll put timestamps below so you can jump ahead. If you're here for the full ride, you're amazing. Thank you for being here, and let's get into it. So I always do my PowerSheet prep work more than one day because it's very in-depth work and I don't want to kind of rush through everything. So I started doing my goal setting prep work yesterday, which is essentially day 1, and then today is day 2, and I kind of finished up with the actual goal setting and planning that goes with that. So I'm gonna actually take you back in time to yesterday where I did some filming and I did some clips to kind of give you like a check-in of how the goal setting process was going for me. So I will take you back to yesterday. God, friends, it is many hours later. I was very deep in my prep work. I had a lunch break. I started mapping out my goals, and I thought it would be a good time to check in with you since I have all of these thoughts and excitement and feelings. So the first thing that we did was just draft out goal ideas, which is page 5, and this was just, you know, a straight brain dump. I've been kind of thinking of things and jotting things down in my notes app on my phone, and this was just kind of where I was able to let loose and just write things out that were on my mind that I would like to do, or, you know, things I wanted to spend time on in terms of like goals and habits for 2022. The next pages after that was kind of like doing like a self check-in, self-reflection about like answering questions about yourself and what lights you up and makes you come alive. The what fires me up page on page 9, I had a lot of fun with too. I did some coloring, highlighting, did some doodling, tried a little bit with hand lettering that I'm practicing. And this is an exercise that you can do if you're not really sure what you want to focus on in the upcoming year, whether it's goal-oriented, an intention, resolution, however you look at it. It's just an exercise to kind of, you know, see what you're excited about. And when you're excited about something, that means that you are probably willing to invest time and energy into it. The pages after that is the life evaluation page, where we break down our life into 8 different categories, kind of rate the different areas of our life. And throughout this whole like prep work process, I was looking back on my 2021 PowerSheets, and which was so like interesting to see like where I was then versus where I am now. By rating the different areas of your life and jotting notes on why you're rating it that way, it can also help you come up with areas of your life you would like to focus on in the new year. Based on this exercise, I was able to kind of figure out the different areas I really wanted to zone in on, and the PowerSheet kind of suggests that you focus on 3 areas. So within that exercise, I decided to narrow in on health and wellness, finances, and work and learning. And I'm kind of bunching work, learning, and recreation into one category. The pages after the evaluation are kind of help you reflect on the past year by listing out things that worked last year, good things that happened last year, people that you're grateful for and why, any challenges that you have endured, and what you learned or life lessons. So I feel like this is a must if you're doing your goal setting for the new year. You definitely need to reflect on the past 12 months to kind of see where you're at. Pages after that were kind of like more mindset questions and exercises about, you know, where we feel stuck in life, who we are, like really core, deep down, and what we're afraid of, and like how to move through and past that fear. I always enjoy this exercise because it kind of helps me reconnect with, you know, myself and like deep down, like where I feel stuck or where I don't feel like I'm making progress on. The next section was like kind of like the big picture that they call it in here, and it's really like creating your legacy. And I've done like legacy exercises in the past before outside of PowerSheets. And a main question that you can ask yourself if you're not doing PowerSheets is like, if when you are an old person, when you are like 80 years old looking back in your life, like what do you want to be remembered for? And kind of answer that question. Okay, the next pages 18 and 19 are new pages, which is the big picture vision and living it out this year pages. So this was kind of like taking those 8 areas of your life that we did in the life evaluation page and just kind of like writing a very short and sweet statement of how you want that to look. And then on the other page, you were able to kind of write out like bullet points of action steps that you can take to live out those kind of that vision for your life. So I had fun with that, just kind of like breaking it down like to the bare minimum, like without the fluff and without the fear and all of that. These action steps will lead to goals and habits that you might want to cultivate in the new year. The next few pages was just kind of like what you want your year to look like, and more lists of what I'm saying yes to, what I'm saying no to, and imagining your year and kind of filling in the blank with the prompts that they have. And then we finally start moving into the goal pages, which is the best pages. And the new thing that PowerSheets has done this year is breaking goals into 3 different types of goals, which I was very excited to get into. And after moving through this, I'm like, wow, okay, this is great. I need this. They've broken goals into 3 types. One being habits, which is just like a established routine or rhythm in our life. Finish line, which is essentially a project where it's very measurable and actionable, and there's steps that you can clearly see and do. And then the 3rd type of goal is a big dream, which I just love. It's a bold, life-changing thing. And for me, I kind of defined big dream as a goal that I would like to happen, but there are other factors that might affect that, such as, you know, things that are out of your control. And that's something that I've struggled with when setting goals in the past, is that I would set like finance goals or like follower or YouTube subscriber goals, and those things essentially aren't really things I can control. Having a big dream goal, like doing this, has really kind of given me more flexibility and freedom to, you know, dream and actually like write down goals that I want to achieve, but knowing that they're not completely in my control. And then on the flip side, with a finish line or habit type of goal, those are things that I can control. Those are things that I know that the only way they're gonna happen is if I commit and do the work. And that leads me to the rough draft of my yearly goals, friends. We have a rough draft. I will say that I did whip out another journal, which I got for Christmas from Georgia's sister. Thanks, Gloria, if you are watching. And I need to do like drafts of drafts because for me, when I write things down, like as a perfectionist, recovering perfectionist, however you want to look at it, I struggle with, you know, just having everything have to be perfect the first time. So getting out of my PowerSheets and kind of writing things in a separate journal really helped me move through this, and also to categorize the goals into a big dream, a finish line, or a habit. Started by just categorizing the different areas of my life that I wanted to set goals in, which for me comes down to YouTube, finances, health, recreation or work and learning, and then spirituality and faith. So those are kind of the different categories that I want to focus on, and then I have goals that can fall under each of those categories. That said, mapping all of that out, I then was able to kind of go back and highlight what would be a big dream, what would be a finish line, and what would be a habit, or what I'm calling an intention. Very excited that I have clarity in all of this. And then I drafted out my goals down here and then on here, but this is kind of like the most recent goal draft for 2022. And I actually have 8 goals drafted out. 2 are big dreams, 3 are finish lines, and 3 are habits. And I think I'll expand on this more tomorrow when I work through the actual action steps. So I will see you tomorrow, friends. Now that it's fast forward to day 2, I'm going to share my 2022 goals with you and kind of walk you through the whole process and show you inside my PowerSheet. So let's flip ahead. I'm really excited with how this turned out. I actually have 8 goals. I have a full lineup. I think last year I only had 6 goals, but since PowerSheets has introduced this new way of looking at goals by breaking them down into either a big dream, a finish line, or a habit. That kind of gives me like a little more breathing room in terms of having this many goals. So I also forgot that I need to share what my word of the year is, which is on page 30. And I like having a word of the year or a theme for the year, but I always like having kind of like a word of something that I want to, you know, help me have direction and something to tie all my goals back to, which is like full circle moment, which I always love. So I already knew what my word was going to be. It kind of came to me, I think, a few days ago, but I still like did the exercises on this page and just wrote out like different words and kind of looked back at my 2021 power sheets to get more inspiration. So with that, my word of the year, drum roll please, is create. Create, friends. And within the page, I kind of wrote out the definition of what create is, because they say look up definitions, and I always get kind of re-inspired by defining a word and like looking it up in the dictionary. And this kind of gave me a whole new reframe of the word create, because when I say create, I kind of connect it to art or like making something, but it is more than just creating something like a drawing or a video. You can really create anything. So that's really, really expansive, and it's going to be kind of a driving force for my year. And I'm really, really excited to kind of have that as my compass for the year. All right, the next page is the vision board, which I usually don't fill out, and I haven't filled it out as of yet because I need to get a printer that actually works. Otherwise, I'd probably already have done this. So not having access to a printer doesn't help, but I think I might draw or just write things out on here instead of actually printing things out. The few pages after that were just kind of like more exercises to go through to kind of break through any mindset blocks that we might be having with our goals, and to kind of give us a good pep talk, which is always, always, always essential. And then we actually get to the goal action plan, where we break down all of our goals, and now I can share what my goals are. I haven't done any of the break your goals down pages yet, which is really when you kind of do an action plan for your goals. I'm probably gonna work on this, you know, in a few days time. All right, so let's just go through my goals. Again, I have 8 goals. The first one is to grow my YouTube channel to 5,000 subscribers, and I'm calling this a big dream goal. That's because I can't really control who subscribes to my channel, who clicks on my channel, and all of that, but it would be really nice to hit that number. I am gonna break down action steps into tangible things that I can do to help people click on my videos, get more people to my channel. My second goal, which is another big dream goal, is to move into a new apartment with George. This is really something that we're gonna work towards together, and we're hoping maybe late spring, summer, and I will keep you all updated on how that goes. But I'm excited to kind of dream about moving into a new place and filling it with furniture and decorating and vlogging it and all of that stuff. So that's giving me the extra motivation to try and make this happen. My third goal, which is a finish line goal, which means that it's very tangible and I know that I can reach it if I follow these steps, which is to pay down $10,000 in student loan debt. So I recently just paid off my car. Can I get a hallelujah, a celebration, a pat on the back? I'm on a debt-free journey and started with my car, and now the rest of my debt is just all of my student loans, and I have private loans and federal loans. I also work in a nonprofit, which means in the United States, I'm eligible to have loan forgiveness if I make 120 payments toward my federal loan. So really I'm going to be focusing on paying off my private loans because there's no loan forgiveness there. That is all on me to pay that off. So this past year I paid close to $10,000 on my car, and like in total between the actual payments and then extra debt payments. So my goal is to put that same amount, $10,000, towards my private loan and to beat that down even further. My fourth goal is another finish line, which is to read 45 books. I just reached my annual book goal for this year, 2021, which was to read 40 books, which is the most books that I've ever read in my life in a whole year. I think the year before I read 20 or close to 20, and this past year I really got into reading more, and I think having a channel and creating reading vlogs really helped me, and I really, really love reading so much more now than I have in the past, and I love creating videos and talking about books on my channel. So having this community here has really helped me reach that goal, so thank you. So I'm pushing myself to read 45 books in 2022. My next goal, which is another finish line goal, is to read 12 books of the Bible. So this is part of a long-term goal of mine to read the entire Bible, which I'm not going to try and do a whole year. I'm just going to read one book of the Bible every month, and that's been going really well for me. The sixth goal is we're moving into habits. So the next 3 goals are all habit goals. Intentions, I rather kind of call them, just to care for my body, mind, and soul. This is a goal that I had for 2021, and it's more of like an intention for me to prioritize taking care of my mental health, emotional health, and my physical health. And having all those moving parts really equate to me being a happy and healthy human. The thing with these habits is that they're kind of like guides or themes, and I can kind of create different monthly goals and habits to kind of correlate with that. So I'm excited to kind of flesh those out more in my monthly, you know, goal setting process. All right, the next 2 are like brand new goal intentions that I'm excited about, but also a little worried about because they're gonna need the most time and attention from me. And the first one is to cultivate a language learning routine and to learn Spanish. So I've been wanting to learn a new language for a few years now, and I just knew I didn't have the time. The past 2 years have been, you know, they've been kind of all over the place, and I feel like moving into next year, I'm ready to kind of invest my time and energy into trying to learn a new language. And I was torn between what language to learn because I really want to learn Cantonese, which is what my mom speaks. I am half Chinese, and my mom is from Hong Kong, and she speaks Cantonese and never taught me Cantonese. And I really want to learn Cantonese to speak with my, you know, Chinese family and feel more connected to my culture. But I also know that learning Cantonese is going to be very, very difficult because there's a whole another set of, you know, characters. It's not like, you know, Latin letters. So that's like one defining factor that's kind of holding me back from trying to learn Cantonese. And like, maybe if I like went and lived with my Chinese family and had more people to speak Cantonese with on a regular basis, it would be more doable. That leads me to trying to learn Spanish. So George is Mexican and his whole family speaks Spanish, and he speaks Spanish as well. And I feel like starting with Spanish would be a good place for me to try and learn another language because it's within the same alphabet. I can speak to more people on a regular basis in Spanish. I can talk to George in Spanish, and he can help me practice that. That's kind of what helped me kind of decide what language to learn. So we're gonna try it. And I have my goal is to cultivate a language learning routine, because just creating a goal of like learning Spanish is not a very good, that's not a good goal at all, because it's not measurable, and what does that even like mean? I think for me, languages are not, they don't come natural to me, and I'm gonna have to really put in the work to, you know, get results. So for me, I wanna have a language learning routine. Since I'm starting totally fresh, I wanna kind of create some kind of plan where I'm teaching and learning Spanish daily and also weekly, and I have some resources that are going to help me kind of create that plan. So that will be something I flesh out in my break your goals down section. A more tangible thing that I would like to do would be to learn basic Spanish phrases and maybe have like a full-blown conversation with George or maybe his family in Spanish. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe I will probably share some of that journey here on my channel as well, so stay tuned for that. All right, friends, my last goal, which I'm very excited about, is to cultivate my creativity. Again, it's another habit, and it's kind of like a theme where I can kind of create different kinds of goals within that intention. So for me, when I say cultivate my creativity, I want to take more actionable steps to improving my creative process, which means I want to just continue creating YouTube videos. I really want to practice drawing and doodling and just kind of get better and practice drawing on a more regular basis, which is something I started last year in 2021. And drawing's been very fun and exciting and soothing for me. It's just kind of like a hobby, and then I love incorporating the drawing and doodling into my like thumbnails and YouTube videos, so that kind of goes along with that. I also want to try doing some more like creative challenges or courses, which are more tangible like goals that I can do. So an example would be like every quarter I want to do like a creative challenge or a prompt challenge. I know from Furry Little Peach in October, she does Peachtober, which is just like 30 days, 31 days of prompts, and then you draw or create art within that prompt. So I'm probably gonna try a crack at Peachtober in October, but before that I'm gonna try and find some other challenges. If you know of any artistic drawing or doodling or painting challenges, feel free to leave them in the comments. I might also try like enrolling in some kind of drawing class, maybe on Skillshare. I don't know yet. This really is similar to my language learning goal, where I want to just have time every week and every day to practice drawing. So maybe a longer drawing hour every week on the weekend, and maybe once a day try like just doodle something in my planner or my journal or something, just like to keep that up, because I want drawing to become more natural for me. So those are all of my goals, friends. There's a lot, there's 8, but the one thing that's really helping me feel less overwhelmed about all of these goals is that I am carrying over a lot of these goals from last year, and I've really developed habits that have helped me make little by little progress for all of these, such as YouTube. I know I'm making a video once a week. I already have a budget in place and have been making extra debt payments on my car, so I'm just continuing that for my student loan payoff. Reading is just something that I do, and it's just kind of like, all right, I need to just keep reading. The 12 books of the Bible goal, I have a weekly Bible study that I've been doing for a few years now, so that just is a continuation of that habit. Caring for my body, mind, and soul just involves like working out, eating healthy, going to therapy, things I already have ingrained in my lifestyle and my routines. And then the 2 final goals, which are the language learning routine and cultivating my creativity, are going to be the 2 goals that I really need to step up to the plate and invest time and energy into it. So it's not like I have 8 goals that I really need to like devote all my time and energy into. It's just really there's 6 that I have a good pace and habits formed to help me reach those, and then it's just 2 other totally brand new things that I really need to focus on. So that's kind of helping me get excited and know that this is all achievable. And the final pages of the prep work is the yearly overview, which I haven't filled out yet. I haven't gotten that far. And then there's some pages to put in wildcard pages, which I haven't done yet. So stay tuned. I might show these maybe in my January tending list goal setting video, which will be coming out pretty much after this video. All right, friends, those are my yearly goals for 2022. I'd love to hear down in the comments what your goals, intentions are, if you feel like sharing, or something that you want to share about 2021. I hope you enjoyed coming along with my goal setting process. Thank you again so much for being here and watching this video. Happy freaking New Year, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!